Alrighty, folks. So we're in here in today's trade, and today we took a single trade, with multiple executions, and our profit per share is up 3 cents, which appears to be the our goal. We're still hoping for more, but we can't be greedy. So our P&L is up $33. Win rate is 100%. Profit factor is nice at 99%. And we're all the way up there. And let's take a look at our trade. Executions. So I started out with a starter at $10. I bought high, and I thought that it was going to go quickly higher, but it didn't. I missed it because I was doing other stuff. My plan was not to trade until the open, but I saw this one come up on the scanner, but I caught it too late, and such as it was. I suspected that it had more upside, so you can see here I let it come down, and then I bought again at 13, and started selling off at 13.70 as it was coming down. I sold the rest. I wasn't about to watch what it was doing. So this was a breakout, and our move was, could we say that we sniped it even though we let it come down? Oh yeah, we'll do that because this was an A trade and we banked our profit. So it's kind of questionable, but we'll leave it at that. So you can see down here, 1.5 cents per share, which is low, but it's still money. That's the way I look at it. So for our monthly total, we've got another day under our belt and another green day, and we continue to grow the P&L. We're still staying below the $40 average there. We haven't had, since last Wednesday, a week ago, we had a $78 winner. And other than that, if you see, all the other winners have been below $40, except for this one, 57. So below $50. There's 166, a 78, and a 57. And all the rest are 40 or below. But that's okay. That's okay. As long as you're green, that's what's important. So let's take a look at the reports and see how we're doing now. And we should have an improvement over yesterday. And we continue to be green across the board here versus the prior period. And we did incur a little bit more of a loss than the prior period. But as we sit here, now we're at 294 versus 298. We're like $4 off of this drawdown for the 30-day period, which is most excellent. And so let's look at the 7 days. The 7 days is a lot even better. And look at that, 201 as opposed to negative 950, and that's because of those two big losses we'd had early in the month. And just for giggles, I'm going to take a look at 90 days and see where we're at with that $1,200 drawdown. Yeah, we're way off. We're about $800 off. 800 and what? $71 off. But we were over $1,200 in a drawdown, and now we're like about $800. So that's not too bad. Yeah, our net P&L is negative 701, but that's still tons way better than we were. So that's where we stand today. I've shut down my my broker software, and I'm not going to trade. I'm not going to FOMO over anything. I'll maybe watch AGPU. I think it has an opportunity in the open to go once people know that what the news is basically building a data center full of NVIDIA GPUs. So that is a great news and contract. And this is the one exception where I would evaluate the news on AGPU because it sounds good. So we had the extended ceasefire yesterday, and with no due date, which means I think that can cast out doubt for the market. The only questionable thing is I don't think the market liked the new nominee for Fed chair. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but it should be a good day today and tomorrow. The only thing is you have to measure your entries, and we had some entries early between the open and 5 a.m. And I'm on the West Coast, so that's why I say between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. But they were gonna fall. It's just the way it is. People are also gonna, as much as you're gonna have people trying to go in and make money, you're gonna have people trying to take money out and take their winnings as well. So be careful. And then let's. This time I did record the trade, so let's move on to that. So I got in here at 1366 high on AGPU, and obviously I didn't catch it. I wasn't paying attention, so I missed it. Could have picked it up sooner, certainly before 10, and would have made a little bit more money. But so I chased it. So this turned out to be an A trade, only because I made $33 out of it. But it was a definitely FOMO chase, I think. The news is what sparked me. I tell you, do not pay attention or do not read anything into the news, but I had to read it and I read it. It had to do with, I guess this company has gotten a contract in order to build data centers with NVIDIA GPUs. And I thought for sure we would have a warmer market today and it'd be more receptive. And it didn't turn out that way. So at the for a while here, I began to doubt whether I should have gotten in at all, and I should have not. I should have not. My thought this morning was to get on at 4 a.m. I'm on the West Coast, so 7 a.m. Eastern, and wait, just observe which stocks are moving. And we did see a few, W buy kids, and they were sort of moving up, but I wasn't interested in them because I knew that they were going to falter, and sure enough, that happened. And so I wasn't expecting AGPU all of a sudden at 5 a.m. It just blasts through and very quickly rises, and I didn't have a chance. So, oh well, those are the breaks, and that's why I say you have to be at the right place at the right time. And now what I have to do is I have to hold it. It did seem strong, and you'll notice there on the right hand side there on the bottom that I keep my red keeps going bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think I hit about 27, and then I said, well, okay, 27 is respectable, and I'm willing to lose 50 for today, but no more than that. And but I'm going to continue to watch it. And the reason I continue to stay in the trade was only because the level two showed enough buyers were kept coming back in, and that the number of sellers did not overwhelmingly outnumber the buyers. So that's why I continued. But it was obvious that that big curve there on the VWAP meant that it had reached a resistance level that it couldn't pass, and it was just going to level off. And of course, it was already up at the top of the upper band of the VWAP, and I thought about it. I thought 2 seconds I shouldn't go in, and I only purchased 10 shares. Mind you, this is just 10 shares at 1366, so it's only $130 you're risking. But if you're willing to lose $50 on 130, that's a 50% ratio loss, and you're not going to make $100 out of it, So it's this was an interesting lucky trade. And what happens when you have a positive market and there is at least enough volume moving and enough interest, when you make mistakes like I just did, you can still, you know, hold to recover. One of the fears I had here was though, as it hits VWAP and it surpasses, it goes down below VWAP, I thought, well, you know what? Maybe it doesn't have the strength and it doesn't have the, there aren't enough eyes on it. And obviously, because of how expensive it is, this might be all they can muster and it's going to fall back. And we've seen that with other stocks. And that has been a pattern today. What you see here on AGPU is exactly what happened on kids and on WBI. So they go up, but only a short span, and then they just start to level off, and then little by little they start coming back down. So that's a pattern I think you got to watch for today, and be careful at the open. We got 15 minutes left before the open, and I'm already doing my update. I'm not gonna go live today, but I'm done trading for the day. So as you can see here, we got 4 red candles in a row. And this green candle here, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe we can have a little VWAP bounce, a little reclaim here. And that sparks a little bit of confidence, but it is just consolidating. And there really was nothing I could look at as far as the daily is concerned. There wasn't enough information there for me to, uh, pan out resistance levels and make a better decision. So those are the things that sometimes happens to us as day traders and momentum traders, scalpers, whatever you want to call yourself. And and you just make split decisions, and it's a dice roll really. What I did like here is that I began to see a little uh, portion, a 3/4 of a portion of a cup. Now it's just looking for the handle to see if it can move up. And we were down, like I said, about $22 when we got down there below VWAP, and now we're slowly climbing back up. So at this point, what I figured was, you know what, this is barely going to hit right above 1366. I need to be ready to get out when and if it does climb. And of course, the danger with a stock that goes this many bars without climbing is that it has a potential to just drop considerably. And I think I just saw. Let's see what it's at now. It's down below 11, so it's around 1044 right now, and it's 917 on the East Coast, 617 on the West Coast. So it did drop. It did have a drop. And looking at the market, it looks like the market is not convinced that it should push the market higher. So I think folks who have bought in bargains over the past 14 days are happy with what they purchased and are just going to wait to see what happens. I think new people are not investing in because they're saying, well, we don't know exactly. We're not sure. We want a better thing, or we're going to hold until we start to see either a drop or a rise, and then we'll take our money out. So we got to be careful because we still don't have full bull market yet, but we certainly do have a positive higher price market. So we just need to continue to watch it. And I don't see anything on the scanners, anything new that could be a potential watch. I think AGPU is the one to watch from the onset, but I'm not going to trade it And I would be skeptic to trade. I would want to see a pullback from, it's at 10:55, 10:41. So I would want to see a pullback on it right off at the start, and then wait until about 10-15 minutes and see if it goes higher. I think that once the market gets a hold of those news, the general market, they're going to be excited and they might push it up. But I wasn't about to hold, 10 shares all the way through the open. I mean, this was enough of a heartbeat thumper. But it does continue the pattern here. As you can see, that little curve that it's building, and it is starting to climb. So I thought, we're not that far off, just a couple of bucks. And here is where a little bit more confidence comes back to me, and we start climbing back up. Now my loss is reduced, and then so what I'm thinking here is, you know what, I might sell five and get out, and get out with a loss and leave the other five shares and see if it climbs and see if I can get back to -5, -10 bucks. But then I also think there's volume here. Maybe we can squeeze some stuff out. And so at this point here, what I'm actually doing is I'm changing strategy, and I'm saying, you know what? Uh, this looks like an opportunity to go in. So I'm thinking I'm going to buy 50 shares here or 100. And I'm still having my doubts, but I've changed the quantity, the counter, to 100. You can't see it on screen, but I'm doing it in another window. And as the green bar there starts to climb higher and cross over VWAP, I think there's definitely an opportunity. So I'm just waiting for a small little pop so that I can jump in. So you'll see me take an order here for 100. I think I tried to get in, and then I had to try it again. So I get in, and here I'm to a certain point. I get up to $60 up, and I try to sell right there, 62.70. I tried to sell and I couldn't. So I took 50 out shares out of the 110 that I was trading, and then it starts to move back down. And as it's hovering back down, I decide that I'm not going to hold 60 shares because it's going to be iffy. So I let it get over my $13 buy order, and I'm still a little bit red. And then here I get saved as a little opportunity, and a little bit of a move. And I said, you know what? That's it. Let's just take whatever we can get. Let's get green, and move on with our day. So I sold another 50, and I'm now just holding 10 shares, and I get out. $33. Continue to watch it. And it doesn't climb back up above 14. So it's a good way to play it. The long hold I did not like, but at that point there was nothing I could do. And so we continue to watch. So hopefully You guys have a better day. Looks like we've got a $150 stock moving, IMBX. We'll have to wait and see what the upwind brings. Hope you guys had a green, got some green. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow.